The United States and its allies are announcing new sanctions against Russia. And this comes as video captured by our partners at the BBC shows widespread destruction in a suburb of Kyiv. Hundreds are feared dead. Yesterday, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky made an impassioned plea to the UN to do more to stop Russia's invasion. Holly Williams reports from Ukraine.
Ukrainian prosecutors say they're investigating nearly 4,500 alleged war crimes. And Ukraine's prosecutor general says they want to, quote, punish the monsters who are responsible. We should warn you that our report contains some disturbing material.
The cruelty of Russian troops in Bucha, the inhumanity of what they inflicted on civilians is painful to look at. But Ukrainian investigators can't turn away. Instead, they're documenting it, including these charred corpses, because Russia's been accused of war crimes.
That house, you can see maybe 3, and that house, it's maybe 1 body.
Ukraine's Interior Minister Denis Monastyrsky has this message for Vladimir Putin.
Go to hell.
Irina Abrovmova says her husband Oleg was the love of her life and describes how he was executed by the Russians. They took him from our home in his slippers, she says, asked him to take his shirt off, made him kneel on the ground and killed him. This shocking video apparently shows a civilian killed on his bike. And this drone footage from late February appears to capture a cyclist turning a corner onto what looks like the same street and immediately being fired upon by a Russian vehicle. In the city of Lviv, there was a candlelit vigil last night for Ukraine's civilian victims in the colours of the national flag.
We want to pray for Ukraine. We hope that our nation will win this war.
But it's not just Bucha. Other towns and villages have also reported horrors while under Russian occupation. For Ukrainians, the slaughter of their own people is heartrending and fueling the fight to protect their homeland and their freedom, whatever the cost. We were given rare access to a Ukrainian military hospital where they treat soldiers wounded on the front line. We can't show their faces for security reasons. Mikola is a mechanic and reservist who told us he was hit by shrapnel in a firefight with the Russians. We can't stop them on our own, he told us. We have to rely on support from the West. Something needs to be done because this will go on and on.
Many Ukrainians have expressed to us their gratitude for American help in this conflict. But some are also frustrated because they want more weapons, especially aircraft and modern air defense systems. Anne-Marie and Vlad.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. So joining us now is Jon Gerberg. He is a video journalist for the Washington Post who is in Ukraine covering the war. Thank you so much for joining us, Jon. You have been traveling to areas sort of in the outskirts of Kyiv. You've seen a lot of the cities that are not as big, but that the Russians were able to dominate. Can you just sort of describe the type of brutality and the widespread destruction that you've been seeing?
Yes, and good to be with you both. Unfortunately, it is far too widespread to even fully grasp at this point. We're just becoming aware of the brutality that seems to have reached cities all over the country. And what we're seeing is, especially in areas around the major cities where the Russians were attempting and laying siege to, they were setting up shop to fight on the outskirts of the cities. And that's where the Russians would occupy these villages for fighting positions and also unleashed incredible brutality from what our reporting shows on the local civilian population. And we have documented allegations of mock executions, threats of rape, torture against civilians, and murder of civilians living in these towns as Russians use their neighborhoods to wage war.
And you've been able to speak with civilians, people who have lived through this heavy fighting, these atrocities. They've been living through this for over a month now. What are they telling you about what they've seen, what they've witnessed?
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost impossible, as you can imagine, for the people who have survived these atrocities to, fully and accurately relive them and tell them. But the stories they convey to us are just unbelievable. I met a grandmother named Valentina in the city of Makariv who lived by herself in her, not even a basement, it was a root cellar about 6 by 6, completely dark with barely any food, no gasoline, no power, and survived on her own as war just ravaged outside on her very block. Her grandchildren's bedroom is now riddled with bullets. There are spent Russian munitions in her yard. And she, at the time we filmed the story, she had not spoken to her daughter or grandchildren in over a month, and they had no idea whether she was alive or dead.
Can I just ask Jon real quick? Jon, let me just ask if, because I don't know, I think people are wondering, when you tell me a story like that, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and I just wonder, are the civilians telling you that these acts of terror are random? In other words, Russians are randomly going into homes and pulling people? Because I wonder, how does someone like the woman you spoke to survive a situation like that? Is it just luck of the draw, or is there something else at foot here?
Yeah, Vlad, it's a hard question to answer. How do you ascribe logic to such immense brutality? I can tell you another man we met named Vladimir in a village called Andrivka, which is outside Makariv. He was a chicken farmer who the Russians had actually set up battle positions in both of his neighbors' houses, literally on both sides of his home. But when the Russians ran out of their own rations and their food, written Russian, all their empty food supplies were still laying there in a large pile, they came to him and had demanded that he slaughter his chickens for them. And because of that, he, as he says, they took pity on him and allowed him to live because they needed him for food. Wow. So do you call that, a logic, or do you call that necessity, or just pure luck? But he showed us his dead civilians that were lying bound and lifeless on his own street. At the time, he said dozens of his neighbors had been killed, and they were only just starting to find the bodies because this was only the day after the Russians had withdrawn from their small village. And they were afraid to go into their neighbors' houses because they thought they might be booby-trapped and mined. So they were certain that there were more of their neighbors still to be found dead in the houses just next door and unable at that point to even recover their bodies.
Wow. Jon, you brought up booby trapping.
Horrible stuff.
No, it is. And, I have to admit, your reporting is really, really tough. It's tough to absorb, but I know it's necessary. The world needs to know what's happening. You mentioned booby traps, and I'm just wondering how you are getting around in these areas, because I know there's a concern about ordnance, unexploded ordnance, and booby traps. How are you getting around safely?
Always. It's a great question. I'm lucky enough to work at an amazing organization where, especially in the high-risk assignments like this, we do have a security advisor, and we make very in-depth assessments of where we go and how we go there, who we travel with, who we meet up with, what our game plans are and backup plans are for safety. Obviously, when you're working in areas where there are active minefields, you have to be incredibly careful of every step you take. What roads you drive on, have they been established as safe? Is there a car in front of you that you are following their tracks? Things like this. And especially when there is, like you said, unexploded ordnance in the area, that is something incredibly dangerous that we take very seriously. Try to avoid whenever possible. And if we become aware of something like that, we keep as much distance as we possibly can. There are times where with these bodies, actually, some villagers have had concerns that Russians have been booby-trapping the bodies. We haven't been able to confirm that through our own reporting, but we have heard those concerns that villagers have had. But there are times where, for instance, as a video journalist, as any visual journalist, really, we are compelled to get close to our subject. Sometimes we have to stay farther back than we would like to in order to report from a safe distance.
Yeah.
But that's part of doing the job safely and effectively.
Yeah.
Jon Gerberg, thank you so much for your reporting. Thank you for taking some time to speak with us and to share what you've seen on the ground with our viewers. We really appreciate it.
Thank you both very much.